Okay, here we are. I've got my broth, cold broth now. In here I have my bull kelp. I've cut it into rings, bite-sized rings. I have my kelp bulbs. I have my bay laurel. And the seaweed, you can see, hopefully, that light's kind of messing it up, but the seaweed's really expanded, like I said, and it's going to give a lot of flavor, and it's going to give salt content. Both the kelp, all the kelp and the seaweed is going to give the salt. And now I would have liked to have some traditionally prepared salt to add to this in case I want to season it more, but I don't have any right now, so we're going to go with this. And this is as traditional as it gets too, so I don't think we're skipping here. Okay, we've got a good boil going now. Oh yeah. And that's smelling really good. It's smelling really, really good. This broth is greasy. Oh, it's smelling good. Greasy goodness. Okay, we have achieved a really good boil. Now with my handy dandy mitten, we'll take a look. Oh yeah, we got a good boil going. Now let's just double check everything here. We want to make sure all of the mussels have opened. Okay, if I can do this two-handed. So the big one has opened. Let's check this other big one. Okay, open, 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 open. And the fish is looking really crumbly, so I think we're about there. I'm going to turn this off, and look at how brothy that is. Look at the broth, guys. This is what I'm talking about. Now, having a moment here. Sorry, a little emotional. I'm an artist, okay? An artist. Anyways, the broth. It's so exciting. This coloration of broth, this arrangement of traditional foods, got kelp bulbs. Those will be fun to pop in your mouth, you know. We got all of the different snails and all the different shellfish. We got some lean cod, kelp rings. The color of the broth itself. This is the color of the broth that our ancestors love to make, and every auntie, every mama, every grandma had a good recipe. The men not so much. They kind of just some, yeah, but I don't know. According to oral record, it was, you know, we had some really good cooks in the women's house. So okay, I'm gonna let this shut it off. Actually, turn my heat off. And now I'm going to pop the lid back on and get myself ready to eat. Okay. Okay, so I've got my bowl and I got my ladle ready to scoop my fish. But before I do, I wanted to just talk about how this would go in the old plank house in the village. So we're inside the plank house now. And old auntie's got this good broth of fish going. And now, we don't all have individual bowls and spoons and stuff, right? That's a Western thing. We all would have our own kind of ladles. And now, if you remember, and maybe I can get it to pop up on the screen with some effects, reminder there. We have our own individual, like elk horn spoon or carved ladle type spoon, an eating spoon. So you bring your spoon and we share out of the same pot. And, you know, and you pick it out with your fingers and stuff like that too. It was pretty informal that way in terms of just eating day to day. But, yeah, so we would all come to the pot and we'd all eat out of the pot. We'd be all close, shoulder to shoulder. You know, very tight community in that way. And so what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to ladle some in my bowl and get to eating because it smells really, really good. I'm not kidding. It smells like, I don't know, Anthony's restaurant or some nice seafood place. It's like real good smelling. So I'm gonna get a little bit of everything, and then we'll see about taste testing and all that stuff. And I'll give you my impressions of each of the different shellfish. Okay, time to eat. I tried to get everything, a little bit of everything in there. So we got China cap, dogwinkle, I can't remember, gooseneck, mussels, kelp, all fish, everything. And that broth is looking good, and smells so good. And it smells really reminiscent to a lot of the traditional dishes that my wife makes from up north. Pretty much similar in preparation. She makes like fish head stew type fish stew, smoked fish stew sort of things, and of course that comes from tradition. We use like potatoes and onions and stuff. But anyway, I'm gonna get into this. I can't film both, and I don't have a setup to like film me eating or whatever, so I'm gonna just eat and then I'm gonna come back with impressions. Alright. Okay, so eating these little snails, I had presumed that you could like just slurp them out, which is not the case. They contract inside their shell, so I had to use this little tiny knife of mine, which is like really cool, to pull the... hold on, okay. Anyways, to pull the meat out. There we go. So this is like very, very small. So now I'm going to take this little guy and just... oh my gosh, you guys. Wow. Holy. Son of a gun. Now I see why they really like these things. Man, and what a pretty shell too. A little iridescent in there. Wow. Very clammy. Man, okay. I'm gonna keep going. So I gotta do the same with my other snails and stuff. But I just wanted to show you guys that. Good stuff. Here's the dogwinkle snail. I already kind of yanked out the meat. And this is what comes out. Woo, look at that. I bet you guys have never seen this in your entire lives. And yet our ancestors ate this stuff every single day. They freaking loved these snails, Lord Almighty. What a delicacy. And they taste good, like the best tender clam you ever ate. Kind of sweet. Anyway, I'm gonna eat this one. Okay. Okay, so we got to the barnacle. I wanted to just show you. This is all you get out of a barnacle about this size. You know, it's not a huge barnacle, but it's about approximate the size of a lot of the ones I found at various archaeological sites. And now this is what comes out. Of course, there's the little beak part that goes through the top. And you can see there's a lot of meat below it. And so I'm going to give this a try. See how she tastes. Boy, it looks yummy, doesn't it? That's why I only picked one. Oh, and Lord Almighty, surprise, surprise. It's good! Holy moly. Who would have thought that weird little looking thing would be tasting that good? Oh my goodness. Okay, I think I ate them all. I think I ate all the limpets, the china caps, the snails, and all that good stuff. And I got a lot of good food left, so I'm going to keep eating and then finish this video. Almost forgot about the goosenecks at the bottom of the bowl. Okay, so what I've done here is I've just kind of laid it. What this is on the outside is like a tough protective sheath. And now I've cut it open to show you the tender part, which is inside. See, that's really tender. And you're not eating up here. You're eating this, this shape thing here. But you got to take that sheath off before you eat it. So I'm going to do that and give it a try. There we go. That's what it looks like, unsheathed. What the holy hell, man? Well, honestly, some of these things I was going, I'm going to eat them, but I'm not going to like them. Oh, so good. Okay. Well, there's not a damn thing that I just gathered from the beach, snail, barnacles, or otherwise. Wow. I'm a snail fan now. Holy moly, I'm a barnacle fan too. And these kelp rings, wow, that's like a really good, they're just like a nice wholesome ingredient. And now, I should say that to contextualize this, this is a winter pot. Right, all these ingredients are stuff that we can get in the wintertime. Now, in the summertime, or even like late spring, to replace the bull kelp, now although we did continue to eat it, we much preferred wild celery, which is also called angelica. And now summertime, they grow long stalks and they look like celery. And then you would toss that tender celery in there, and that would be like your vegetable. Well, I mean, it would be your vegetable. But here we're using the bull kelp because we're in wintertime. Bull kelp is full of all kinds of vitamins and sustenance. And goodness, look at this. You know, what a meal. What a really delicious meal. Our ancestors were not eating poor by any means. And I'm just amazed, too. Like, not a grain of salt went into this. Yet it's got all of this briny, salty flavor. And it's not oceany tasting. It's like something you'd buy in a restaurant with the broth anyways. So anyway, I guess I'm done bragging on my tradish boil. Hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you at my house eating some good tradish food in the future, and gather around and sing and drum and have a good old time. Okay. Shoot!